great to be here. It's nice to be in an art studio and have all my clothes on. I'm not a nude model, I just really, really like art. So you guys a little bit about me. If you couldn't tell, I'm kind of a badass. Like I rode over here on a motorcycle. I always feel like such a badass when I'm riding a motorcycle, you know, with the radio on and the wind in my hair and my arms around my dad. It does bum me out a little bit when he wears a shirt that says, "If you can read this, my non-binary son fell off." I don't actually identify as non-binary, but during the pandemic when I would wear a mask, people would regularly assume I was a lesbian. Seems like you guys can kind of see it. I don't feel like I have to explain that to you guys. I do think it'd be more accurate to say they assumed I was a woman, and then they'd see me with my wife and assume we were a lesbian couple. It's actually happened a surprising amount of times. One time we were at a comedy show together, the headliner's doing crowd work, he gets to us, he asks us unironically if we're a lesbian couple. Even though this is true, 15 minutes earlier, I performed on that show. I grew up in Portugal, and any Portuguese folks in the room? No. Yeah? You from Portugal proper?
Second generation.
Okay. Not as exciting. But I think the fact that I grew up overseas, I think that's the main reason there's so many American phrases and figures of speech that don't make sense to me. Like, I'm sorry, I know this is a little bit vulgar, but I think it's weird that the expression "suck my dick" is another way of saying "fuck you." Right, because to me, that should be a way of saying, like, look, man, I need a favor. A really big one, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like something that's good for you, but unpleasant for them a little bit. Like, hey, man, can you help me move this weekend? You would really be sucking my dick. One of my friends was like, you might want to think about that joke a little bit. Some people might see it as heteronormative because of the way it frames blowjobs. So just to be safe, I did run it by my gay friends in the group chat. Important, right? They didn't think the joke was offensive, but none of them know each other. So they were pretty offended that I put them all in the chat together. And then rename that chat Gay Focus Group. Still wasn't as bad as the time I put all my black friends in a chat together. I know, man, they were both pretty pissed. Especially because one of my black friends is gay, so he was like, how many of these group chats are you gonna put me in? My wife is a mental health therapist. You know, the thing is, she's not noble, she's nosy. My wife got into therapy for the same reason she loves watching reality TV. She wanted to meet a bunch of messy bitches and learn their secrets. The other day I heard her end a Zoom session with one of her patients. She's like, we're out of time, but we'll pick this up again in next week's episode. Session. She's always telling me what's going on in her patients' lives, which feels inappropriate. She'll literally pour us a glass of wine and be like, you want to hear the tea, babe? I'm like, sure, that's a cute way to say HIPAA violation. Sure. Let's hear the tea. She's like, relax, it's anonymous. I'm like, is it? Because you told me that one of your patients got court-mandated anger management for destroying a pride display at a Target in Saugus, Massachusetts. That feels pretty Googleable to me. You're from Saugus? You gotta stop being from places, sir. No offense. It's disruptive. It's kind of crazy to me that my wife has like such a grown-up career now, because when we first got married, we were still in our early 20s. We were in our hard partying post-college days, right? One time I had to take my wife to the ER because she drank way too much, and I was pretty sure she was going to have her stomach pumped. So I was 100% sure she's fine now, obviously, but she was so sick on the ride to the hospital that she was literally convinced she was going to die. She kept being like, I'm going to die. I'm like, you're not going to die, babe. She's like, I'm going to die. I'm like, you're not going to die. She goes, name our daughter after me. I'm sorry, how the fuck would that work? Like, what daughter are you talking about? You're not even pregnant, man. If you are, then we really got to talk about your drinking. I think what she was maybe trying to say was that if she died and I remarry and I have a kid with someone else, I should name that daughter after her. It does feel like a pretty big ask for my new bride, I think. Or like she goes into labor, I'm like, hey babe, I probably should have brought this up earlier. Okay, do you mind if we name our daughter after my first wife who died from alcohol poisoning? Can we hook that up? You would really be sucking my dick. Yeah. We had a baby a couple years ago. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, she's 2 now, so it's been 2 years and 9 months since I did anything to make it happen. But sure, I'll take the applause. I'm excited to be a dad. I really am. Although when my wife first told me she was pregnant, I don't think I reacted the right way. I think she could tell I was panicking a little bit, because the first thing I said to her when she told me was, wow, babe, congrats. Like she hit on a scratch ticket or something, you know. It was not the right amount of enthusiasm. I was pretty drunk and disoriented, so I was like, are you sure? So she showed me 3 positive pregnancy tests, and I was like, fuck, dude. Triplets? One thing I don't love about having a kid is our house is always a mess now. So my wife and I, we finally broke down and hired a cleaning lady. And after the first cleaning, my wife comes running in and she goes, oh no, she found our dildos. I was like, what do you mean, our dildos? I don't have dildos that I'm aware of. She's like, you use them too sometimes. And I'm like, kinda, but like, her dildos are like her friends. We get along fine when my wife is there, but we would never hang out one-on-one. Those are her friends, they're not our friends, right? So just to be safe, we've been writing her name on all her sex toys, like she's Andy from Toy Story. So there's no confusion. Hey, you guys have been so much fun. I'm gonna give it back to her. Have a good night.